In the previous video, I discussed how rage works in Siege of Winterfell, and therefore how important it is the order of the commanders in the lineups, and I gave what are, in my opinion, the best lineups for either mid to low spenders or the free-to-play players. In the previous video I did the infantry lineups, so let's have a look now to the spear lineups. And as usual, let's go to the commanders that are available and that can be used. So we can use again Sack because he's an overall commander with a skill attack. We'll have Annie, which also have overall stats and also provides heal. We'll be using Arya Stark, Tyrion Lannister, Jaime Lannister for sure because he'll have the commander bonus, Julian, who deals skill damage and has overall stats, Corell, who will boost spear defense and has spear stats, we can use Kevin with his normal attack damage reduction and overall stats. We can use Drake, who does skill damage and also increases the stats and has the regular stats. Taylor, who does normal damage and also increases spear attack and also has spear stats. We could use Raymond. We have Miranda, who does a nice spearman health boost and also has a reduction of the enemy infantry and has spear stats. We have Hector, who also reduces counter attack damage and has spear stats. We have Paris with his normal attack damage increasement and his spear stats. We use, well, if you know it before, we will use of course Mango, who does a nice overall attack increasement and also gives a speed bonus and has overall stats. We'll have Soren, who will heal and has overall stats. Arslan, who will have nice spear stats. Uma, who does skill damage and spearman attack damage and has spearman stats. And potentially you can also use Marjorie Tyrell, who does a nice healing for your allies and has spear stats. For the first lineup, I'm using Patelo, Mango and Jaime Lannister. The reason is Patelo just is very good, increasing the normal attack damage and does an additional spearman attack damage and has a spear set, so it's already a good boost to have from the get-go. Then we have Mango, who increases the attack even more, and of course, him being the commander that he is, increases the movement speed. So this will be a fast moving deployment. And then we have Jaime to top it off, increasing the spear attack even more and also having a chance of dealing critical damage. So this for me is a no-brainer for the first lineup. The second lineup will have Julian, Drake and Uma. Why Julian? Well, because he does his skill damage at the get-go and increases normal attack. So that's already a double punch at the get-go. Then we have Drake, who also does a skill damage and then also helps your spearman survive by increasing the defense, and he has nice spear stats to go with it. Then we have Uma. What does she do? Well, also she does skill damage and she increases the spearman attack of the commanded troops. You can even also have her second to do more damage, but it doesn't matter so much because it's the first round, so they will be activated very rapidly one after the other. Then we have the third lineup, which will be Miranda, Varys, and Hector. Well, Miranda has her nice spear stats. She increases the spearman health and reduces the effect what infantry potentially could have on this lineup by quite a lot. So it's a nice protection to have from the get-go. Then we have Varys, who then does sort of, we could say, the opposite, because he increases the normal attack damage by 30%, which means you deal more damage, and he has his skill sets of his spear stats. And finally we'll have Hector, who will reduce the counterattack damage by 80%, which is already a lot if you add that to the infantry attack reduction, which is already being done by Miranda. And he also has spear stats. So this will be a very tanky lineup. For the free-to-play players, I would suggest to have the first lineup consisting of Gorel, Arslan, and Mango. Gorel, because he has the spear stats and also makes it more tankier by increasing the spearman defense. Then we have Arslan, who increases the spearman health and also has the spear stats. And then we have Mango, who will increase the attack of these troops and also just simply makes them go faster. For the second lineup, I would suggest to use Uma, Varys, and Hector. Uma because she does the double punch from the get-go and has her spear stats. Varys, who will increase the attack being delivered by more and has his spear stats. And then we have Hector, who will just protect this lineup against the attack from infantry by reducing the counterattack damage and also has spearman stats. Then we have the third lineup, and for free-to-play players there are not really that many more spearman commanders left, so we'll end up with Arya, Tyrion, and Sora. Arya because she does skill damage and increases the attack by her stats. Then we have Tyrion, who is making sure the enemy has difficulties healing their wounded soldiers, but he also has overall stats. And then we have Soren, who has not only the overall stats but heals your wounded troops. So this lineup will be saved a little bit longer to be deployed in battle. So these are my suggestions for the lineups for Spear for the free-to-play players and for the mid to low spenders. I hope this will be of worth